Oh, good evening. My name is Joshua Harmon Ballard, and I will be going on Guildford College's January term trip to Oxford, England. Now, during that turnaround there, you probably would have expected to hear some sort of classical music, but alas, I am a poor editor, and as such, will instead serenade you with the lovely sounds of this Vuvuzela app. Ah, so conducive to learning. Now, I'm doing this video blog for two main reasons, and the first reason is during my trip to Oxford, we are required to keep an e-portfolio where we answer journal questions and the like, and add pictures, talk about fun events that we've done while abroad. And so one of the things I may decide to do is this sort of video blog format to talk about the day, what we discussed in class, the places we've gone, things like that, because as much of a poor editor I am also a poor coder and website builder, and so I couldn't probably do many of the fancy website-y type things, excuse me, that many of the more technologically inclined could do. And the second is because we were required to go see Peter Jackson's Hobbit film, as well as read J.R.R. Tolkien's Hobbit book. Now you may be wondering why this image is a little backwards. Well, it's how the video camera records. It's how it records things. And once again, I'm a very poor editor. So, I'm just going to go ahead and discuss what I thought about the book in relation to the film, or the film in relation to the book, vice versa, things like that. So anyway, I really liked the supplemental stuff they added, like Radagast the Brown being a character as opposed to just kind of a mention. Azog the Orc, the whole necromancer business, which was also just kind of a side thing. I don't know where exactly they drew all the supplemental stuff from, maybe the Silmarillion, I'm not sure, I didn't do the research on that. But I thought that was all very good. I think it helped kind of connect the Lord of the Rings films to the book. So I thought that worked out quite nicely. Radagast the Brown was a pretty fun character, a little oddball, a little weird. It took me a bit to get used to him. I thought he was just like, well, he's just a crazy guy. He's helping out this hedgehog. And then you saw that he was a bit more important to the story, so that was good. One of the things that I wasn't a fan of was the animals not talking. And I know that's a little weird, but I'm a sucker for things that aren't supposed to talk that do talk. That's why I like Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie, and Chronicles of Narnia. Things like that. You know, talking candlesticks, talking beavers, stuff like that. And in the book, the wargs, which in the movie are pretty much just like the furry wolf horses of the orcs, actually like talk and have their own language, and they only work with the goblins sometimes, and they've got their own like evil society or whatever, and that's neat. I really like them. The fact that they're just kind of like furry horses. I mean, horses are already pretty furry, but you know what I mean. The fact that they're just kind of chucked off into that, and you know they ride around them, and like the only one with any real characters is the white one, and it's just like, ooh, he's the big bad one because he's ridden by the big bad orc. So. Also, the eagle's not talking. That kind of sad. I think talking birds that speak normally are pretty cool. I don't know why. I'm weird. I don't know why. So, anyway, just those little gripes. You know, even you know, just I really liked a line in the book where the king of the eagles was described as being able to look into the sun without blinking, and I think that would have been cool to kind of get that like air across. But really, it's just like. Spoilers. Gandalf talks to a butterfly. The butterfly gets the eagles. The eagles take him to the Carrock. I'm assuming that they haven't taken him to the King Eagle, and then maybe I'll just have to eat crow. But enough about talking birds. The other thing I really like. I mean, fanboy gripes. They're not like, oh, this made the movie unwatchable, because it didn't. The movie was great. But Philly and Keely. I think they're supposed to be brothers. I really hope I'm not mistaking this, or then I look like a fool even after reading the book like a few days ago. But Philly and Killy just didn't look like brothers. Like one of them looked like the normal dwarves they had in the film, like with the you know prosthetic nose and like the hair and braids and all dwarfy, and then the other one looked like normal. kind of like Thorin Oakenshield did, and Balin, I guess. And it just kind of was like, oh, it seems to me like you're kind of trying to recreate the original three from the Lord of the Rings movies. I mean, you've got Thorin, who's like probably like Strider, and then Balin, who's pretty much the Gimliest of the non-dwarf looking dwarves, and then Philly or Keely, I don't remember which, who, uses a bow and arrow and looks like a regular guy. Oh geez, maybe he's supposed to be Legolas. And that's just me looking at it from a standpoint. It's like trying to recreate some of the, draw from the last one and having specific characters that people like. And then apart from that, there wasn't much characterization of the dwarves. And the book is a little skimpy. Skimps on this a little bit too. And so I don't find too much fault in the film for it, but the fact that they've got kind of, we're going to be spending 3 films with these characters, and I don't remember which one is Philly or Killy, or which one is Gloin or Oin or Doin or whatever the names. Just kind of feels like maybe, I mean, it's obviously the source material, so you can't have all, you can't, put characterization where there is none, but having stuff like that was a little, I wish I'd known more about these guys. They seem kind of cool. They have lots of fun. They throw things. There's the one guy who's skinny. I don't remember who that was. He was the youngest, and he got really scared when the trolls were going to eat him. But that's about it. Things I did like were not showing Smaug at the beginning. It's a very Jaws move. But I think it's very cool. Like, you just see his tail, and you see that he burns a bunch of people, and then you see his nostrils and his eyes. And, I told my family, because I went to see it with them, and they don't, surf the internet looking for movie stuff, because they're not gigantic nerds like me. But, they're like, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch voices him. Like, yeah, I just know that because that's what they've told me, and so it's like he never talks in the film. He just kind of breathes, and if that was his breath, then I guess maybe he'd get a voice credit. I didn't check, but still, I just, I think it's cool not showing him, if you're if all you're into is dragons and you're going to go see The Hobbit, you're like, oh man, I really want to see a dragon. Oh, I didn't see it. I guess I'm going to have to go see the next one. Pretty cool ideas in there. But I really did like The Hobbit, the book, a bit more than the movie. I mean, just in regards to the first half, or the first third, I suppose. They're both pretty equal. I like the beginning. The scene where they're all in there. The songs kind of come out of nowhere, but songs always do, especially in books. So that wasn't much of an issue. There were bits with not being as using your brain and your guile to win, but more straight up fighting. I mean, all the dwarves rush in and have this big fight with the trolls in the film, as opposed to the honestly kind of funny, they all go in one at a time and get knocked over the head and put in a sack. That's cool. But then, you get Bilbo just kind of stalling for time with this whole spices thing and how to cook dwarves correctly. As opposed to Gandalf, making them all think the other one's saying something, and them getting in a big, fight, which it's already been established that they're not the best of trolly friends, and then the Gandalf trolling trolls thing could be very prolific almost, and then but the scene with Gollum and Bilbo having the riddles was great. So it's really just kind of a trade-off. Bilbo shows his bravery a bit sooner in the film. He attacks that orc who's about to kill Thorin, not Azog or whatever, but the other guy. So he attacks him instead of waiting till really the spiders to kind of step up. So other than that, I enjoyed both of them. I really enjoyed the book. I read it in 3 hours over, a day, over 2 days, I guess. But, yeah. So anyway, if you want to comment below, please do. I know that our teacher can look at this, and so can the students, and I'm pretty sure I've made it so the rest of the internet community is allowed to. So I'm going to see how posting this works, and hopefully it works out. So yeah, talk to you later.